At the mere sight of Russian print, an English person is apt to exclaim, "How funny the Russian letters look, rather like ours upside down." This first impression of the Russian alphabet as something peculiar and grotesque is followed, as likely as not, by the request, "Oh, say something in Russian." And when I repeat a few verses of a Russian poem, my English friends are often quite astonished at the sounds, which seem to them completely strange. Their usual comment when the performance ends is, "Good gracious! I could never learn to speak Russian. It must be a fearfully difficult language." Nevertheless, some of them, with characteristic British determination, have taken up Russian with enthusiasm as a fascinating hobby. They have done so, probably because it is the language of a country which at the present time is stirring the minds of men and women in all walks of life, in England and probably in the rest of the world. They soon find out that Russian is no harder than any other language commonly studied in this country. True, it has its peculiarities for English students, just as English has peculiarities for Russians, and the grammar is rather more complicated than English, but it has one great advantage. Russian words are comparatively easy to learn to pronounce, since the language is virtually phonetic. That is to say, most of the letters can be pronounced in only one way. This means that although in English the letter A represents as many as 7 different sounds, E and I 6, O 8, and U 7, the corresponding letters in Russian stand on the whole for only one sound each. Every language presents some difficulties in grammar and pronunciation, which can only be overcome by patient work and concentration. But Russian makes no greater demand on the student in this respect than French or Spanish or any other European language. Every year now, one meets a growing number of people who know one or more languages besides their own, and this is also true of the English-speaking nations, who are no worse linguists than the men and women of other countries if they take up a foreign language as a hobby and persist in their efforts to master it.